Want to know what's in store for you this week? Well, come on and join me and let's find out. Hello, Stacy the Blackfeather Intuitive. Welcome to another weekly oracle reading for the week of December 13th. Hoping that you are doing well and that you are taking some time to enjoy the process of this holiday season and all of your preparations, because it's never really about the destination, it's always about the journey. Cheesy and corny, but so very, very true, right? All right, let's call in all the archangels, ascended masters, highest guides, light beings, creature teachers, loved ones in spirit. Oh, and those elementals. Come on into the space and give us the clarity and guidance that we need to really understand our own personal path and purpose this week. Let's make that our intention. So I am reading today from the Barbara Moore's Wizards Tarot deck, and loving this deck, loving the energy that it gives and all the imagery. We have four. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. My camera overheated. So we were talking about our card for the week is Four of Cups. And I love this card. This is a card of review. This is a card of sitting back and taking a moment to take it all in. This is a card of meditation and of contemplating not where you've been necessarily, but just sort of contemplating your space in the world, contemplating where you're at right now, contemplating the magnificence of the body, you know, the miracle that the body is, the human body. It is taking time to really connect with self, and connect with self on that deeply spiritual psychic level, and also on an emotional level, connecting to the emotional body and saying, where am I at on an emotional level? And doing it from a place of observance rather than judgment. And of course, you know, we're all so good at judging ourselves and oftentimes judging others. But really, at the end of the day, we judge others and we judge ourselves because we feel that there's something intrinsically wrong with us. And that's not the truth at all. So it's contemplating kind of where you're at in your own body, in your own mind, in your own emotional realm of things, and observing without judgment, observing without feeling the need to take action. It's being in a space of flow, observing what is floating by you. You know, each thought, each experience, each event and circumstance that you find yourself in. Just observe it for a minute without feeling like you have to do something about it. This week, I'm really feeling like for all of us, it's just giving ourselves a break. Not feeling like we have to push through. I'm hearing the word deadlines, and I'm hearing that you want to put an X through the deadline. It's like, no, I'm not putting deadlines on myself anymore. I'm simply going to sit and be in the moment right now. I'm going to be, because if I'm pushing through, it means that I'm forcing something to happen that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to happen in the moment. If I'm forcing it, I'm not in flow. And I feel like that's a really important message for each of us this week. How can we be more in flow without judging what is coming and what is going? You know, what is passing us by, what is coming into our experience right now, and we don't have the time, the energy, the head space, the heart space to proceed with it. We just need to sit and contemplate, sit and meditate. Again, this isn't about looking back on the past and getting all jumbled up in our monkey mind about it. This is about contemplating the now, staying in the now. How can you be in a meditative state in your waking state? How can you make meditative state your standard state? It is a part of what you do and who you are, not something separate, something that you do. It's something that you are. That is our challenge for this week. With this particular card, he's sitting in a library and he's sitting with his, he's kind of got his, he's not in thinker pose, but he's got his hand on he's definitely contemplating a lot of stuff, and he looks a little frustrated. He looks like, he's sitting at this desk and he's got all of these, all of this knowledge, all of these things that he could do, and yet what's right in front of him is clean. It's blank. There's nothing there. And he looks a little frustrated with it. He looks like he's almost like, why can't I figure out what it is I'm supposed to do? He's missing the point, because you're not supposed to be doing anything. You're supposed to be lost in that contemplative moment. It's not lost in thought. It's lost in the moment. And sometimes being in the moment and doing nothing is awesome. It's amazing. It's exactly what needs to happen. We don't always have to be productive. We don't always have to be producing something. Sometimes it's about just observing and being in the moment. That's our challenge for this week. Yeah, all of that knowledge is still going to be there when he gets out of this moment and goes and does something. It's still going to be there, that he can access at any time. Right now, there's nothing flowing, so don't force the flow. Be in that contemplative space. Interesting message. All right, and our oracle for this week, I guess this is our card. Our oracle for this week is coming from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Reid. So let's see what the message, the crossing. Initiation. I love this. Okay, so the reason why we are in this space right now is because we are getting ready to be initiated into a new chapter, into a new way of being. And how fitting, we've got a couple of weeks left before we are embracing a new year, 2022. And 2022 is going to be an initiation of sorts. It is, we see it as an initiation. We have celebration around the new year. There's a lot of review that goes on. My year-end preview service is exactly that. We tune in to see what is coming up for the year, so that you can prepare yourself, so that you know what's coming. That it's definitely an initiation. This year in particular, I'm hearing it's also a higher level of initiation that we are stepping into. You want to be prepared. You have all the knowledge. You have everything. Right now it's about connecting to source and opening yourself up to a new way of, I want to say, receiving and processing divine guidance, so that you can use that divine guidance in your waking state. You don't always have to be, sitting there Buddha style, chanting Om to receive the guidance. Now you can receive it in your waking state. You have to create space for it in order to be able to receive it. But there is a crossing. It's not a crossroads. It is a crossing. It's a passage into a new portal. It's a passage into a new potential and opportunity. And the past is the past. It's going to go away, never to return again. We are moving into a new era. And that's what this feels like. It's a new era. And how prepared are you? Look at this card. There's not a whole lot of color per se in this card. It's a very sepia, it's a sepia colored card. And the only little hint of color outside of that sepia is around this portal of light. There's a hint of yellow. Yellow is our solar plexus chakra. Yellow is that soul space. Identity, personal power, mastery, co-creation. It is our soul space. So we, I feel, as a group and as well as individuals, are now having the opportunity to cross a threshold. We're crossing into new territory, and it's soul-based territory. It's part of our soul path and purpose. Not our soul destiny, but that's kind of what I'm hearing is almost like a soul destiny. We are at the crossing where, okay, this is a one-way trip, right? This is a one-way ticket. There's no going back. It's moving forward, and to not be afraid of that. There's power in moving forward. There's something exciting on the other side of that crossing. We just have to be prepared to take it. We have to create space to be able to receive it. All right, let's pull a feather from the feather jar and see what the angels and ascended masters have to say. Oh, teacher, heal thyself. So this is an interesting one. So this is kind of like, the pot calling the kettle black. this is the same kind of concept here. It's like, all right, you have to, for those of you who tell other people this, you also need to turn it on to yourself. So this is a message for me too. You have to be able to create that space and be open to contemplation of what is in the moment, what is in the now. Because there is that initiation in order for you to be ready to take that crossing and to not be afraid of it, to move forward with confidence. What's happening here is you are having the opportunity to heal yourself. You're having the opportunity to lead by example and to say, okay, I'm going to take my own medicine. I'm going to take a spoonful of my own medicine. I'm going to listen to my own guidance. I'm not going to discount and negate for myself that self-compassion and that self-forgiveness piece, the self-love and the self-care that I give to others. I'm going to include myself in that. And that is a big part of this initiation, is we all are teachers and students to one another. And so it's all about our own healing. We have to be fully healed within our own souls in order to be able to get on the other side of this crossing and be successful at it. And this isn't to say, oh my God, you got to heal tomorrow. It's not about pressure. Again, no deadlines, right? We're putting an X through the deadlines. This is actually saying, this is what we're working towards, is complete healing. And if we are teachers and students to one another on any given day, in so many different circumstances, we all have the opportunity to heal ourselves. We all have the opportunity to provide compassion to ourselves as well as the compassion to others, forgiveness of selves as well as forgiveness to others. So pay attention to how you are teaching others this week and how you can use that teaching, use what you are offering and apply it to yourself for your own healing. I feel like that's really important. All right, guys, that's our reading for the week. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, click that bell on my YouTube channel. It helps out so much. Feel free to share the love. If you have other people in your life that might enjoy this type of guidance, would love to connect in that way. I also have my Facebook page, The Black Feather Intuitive, and my Insta, The Black Feather Intuitive, and my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com, where you will be able to book your year-end preview session. There are only a few spots left. It books up so quickly. I started it December 1st. It's going only until January 31st. It's an hour-long session with me where we do your year 2022 in preview. And I use cards, and I pull a card for each month, and I tune in and I tell you what you have to look forward to. And we also talk about anything that you kind of need to pay attention to or sort of have a heads up on so that you can prepare and be at your best when it does transpire. I've been doing this service now for 5 years. People absolutely love it. The only negative to it or the downside to it is that it is so popular and there's only one of me. So there are limited spots. So check it out if you'd like to get in. It's an amazing service. Would love to connect with you in that way. Thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing week, and we will see you next time.